Morning Year 6 and welcome to Wednesday's reading lesson. Before we start, we're going to read the first chapter of The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman together. So make sure you've got it. The text is in your home learning packs. And you can access the video to me reading this chapter on our YouTube channel in the Year 6 playlist. Once you've done that, pause this video and read along with me. So what did you think? I'd never read this book before. I'd never even heard of it, to be honest. But now I've read the first chapter, I think I'm going to go and try and find it and read the rest of it. So here are your quick start questions. What did the hand in the dark hold? What did the man clean the knife with? Who was the only person the man Jack had left to take care of? What lit up the toddler's room? What is in the toddler's cot? And where does the man Jack head at the end of the extract? When you're ready, pause the video, answer the questions, and then unpause when you're ready. Fantastic. So now you've answered the questions, let's have a look at the answers. What did the hand in the dark hold? A knife. What did the man clean the knife with? A large white handkerchief. Who was the only person the man Jack had left to take care of? The little one, a baby, barely a toddler. What lit up the toddler's room? The moonlight. What is in the toddler's cot? A teddy bear. And where does the man Jack head at the end of the extract? He heads up the hill towards the old graveyard. Give yourself a tick for all the ones you got right. So first of all, before we answer any more questions, we're going to just check some of the vocabulary that was in the first chapter. This will help you understand what you've read a little bit more. The first word is flexed. He flexed his fingers. So here we have a guy flexing his muscles. So flexing is to bend. So you can flex your fingers, your muscles, you can flex. It just means bend. Its light was not bright and it was diffused by the mist. So if we look down here at this picture, if a light shines or if something goes somewhere, it goes straight ahead. If it is diffused, it goes in lots of different directions. So the light was diffused. It went in all different directions, and that means the light was softer and not so harsh. The shape of the child in the cot, head and limbs and torso. So limbs are your arms and legs, and a torso is the bit from your neck down to your hips. Honed in on the smell. So I haven't got a picture to go along with this word, but honed means when you refine something or perfect it over a period of time. So in this sentence, honed means he refined it. He went straight to the smell. He'd used this skill before. The stray tendrils of fog. So the stray tendrils are something light and thin which hangs loose. So here is an example. This is a tendril of a leaf. It's hanging loose from the main thing. The next word is insinuated, and it's in the same sentence. To insinuate something, it means you suggest it or hint it in an indirect way. So in this sentence, it means that the fog, the little bits of fog, had come loose from the main fog and kind of gone into the hallway a little bit. Made the night shadowy and treacherous. Treacherous means hidden and unpredictable dangers. So that's implying that the night something dangerous might happen. It had a bit of an eerie feel. So the first question you've got today is, what has the man Jack done in the house? You've got to find evidence to back up your claim. Now, it doesn't actually tell us what the man has done. It just leaves clues. And it also shows, not tells us. So, there was a hand in the darkness and it held a knife. The knife had a handle of polished black bone and a blade finer and sharper than any razor. If it sliced you, you might not even know you had been cut. Not immediately. So that first paragraph implies that this knife in this story has been used to cut something. The knife had done almost everything it was brought to that house to do, and both the blade and the handle were wet. I wonder what they were wet with. Could it be blood? Could it be water? The street door was still open, just a little where the knife and the man who held it had slipped in, and wisps of nighttime mist slithered and twined into the house through the open door. The man Jack paused on the landing. With his left hand he pulled a large white handkerchief from the pocket of his black coat, and with it he wiped off the knife, and in his gloved right hand, which he had been holding it, then he put the handkerchief away. So this wet substance on the knife, he's now wiped it off. The hunt was almost over, so we know he's hunting for something. He had left the woman in her bed, the man on the bedroom floor, the older child in her brightly coloured bedroom. Are they still alive? Surrounded by toys and half-finished models. That only left the little one, a baby barely a toddler, to take care of. So, when you're ready, pause the video and answer this question. What do you think the man Jack has done, and why? Make sure you include the evidence to back your claim up. Brilliant. I wonder what you think the man has done. So here we have our next question, all about this statement. The man Jack is very professional. I want you to find evidence from the text that proves that claim. I found 3. How many can you find? Let's have a look at these little extracts to see if we can find any evidence to how he is professional. He flexed his fingers. The man Jack was, above all things, a professional, or so he told himself, and he would not allow himself to smile until the job was completed. There is evidence in there that can prove my claim. Can you find it? What about in this one? The man Jack's eyes were accustomed to the dim moonlight, so he had no desire to turn on an electric light, and light was not that important. After all, he had other skills. The toddler's room was at the top of the house. The man Jack walked up the stairs, his feet silent on the carpeting. Then he pushed open the attic door and he walked in. His shoes were black leather and they were polished to such a shine that they looked like dark mirrors. In these extracts, there is evidence to show that Jack is very professional. Can you find it? So if we look here, it said he would not allow himself to smile until the job was completed. That tells me he's professional because he wants to finish his job. He doesn't want to leave it unfinished. And if you're professional, you like to do your job properly. Let's have a look at this one. The man Jack's eyes were accustomed to the dim moonlight, so he had no desire to turn on an electric light, and light was not that important after all. He had other skills. This tells me that because his eyes were accustomed to the dim moonlight, he's been out in the night before. So he's obviously done this job before. And it tells us here, it says he has other skills. The toddler's room was at the very top of the house. The man Jack walked up the stairs, his feet silent on the carpeting. Then he pushed open the attic door and he walked in. His shoes were black leather, and they were polished to such a shine that they looked like dark mirrors. So after reading the first chapter, we know that Jack was hunting for someone. Here it says his feet were silent. So obviously he knows how to hunt, because we know that when people hunt, or when animals hunt, they be silent so they can catch their prey. Also here, his shoes were black leather, and they were polished to such a shine that looked like dark mirrors. Professionals often have shoes which are shiny because they polish them, so that they give a good first impression and a good appearance to everyone who they meet. Have you found any other evidence in the first chapter to show that the man Jack is very professional? Okay, so we're looking at this image that is printed in the book alongside the text. Explain what this image adds to the text. Why do you think the author included it? Do you like its inclusion or not? Explain why. So first of all, why do you think the author included the picture? Why do we include pictures to go along with text? We've talked about this in class before. Let's see if you can remember. The next part is all on your opinion. Do you like it or not? Explain why. So again, it's giving your opinion and backing that up with an example or evidence. Pause the video and unpause when you've answered the question. Here's the next question. He had no desire to turn on an electric light. Why do you think the man Jack might have not wanted to turn on a light? Let's think about this. Visualize what the man Jack is doing, or what you think he's doing in the text. It does say he's hunting, so we know he's hunting for something. So again, think about that and why turning on the light might not have been beneficial for Jack. Pause when you want to answer the question and unpause when you've finished. Great. This is another question I can't wait to read your answers to. Another phrase from the text. Without hurrying, he began to walk up the hill. Why do you think the man Jack wasn't hurrying? I've got my ideas for the answers to this question. I can't wait to see what you think. Pause the video, answer the question and unpause when you're ready. So in my opinion, I don't think the man Jack was hurrying because the person he was hunting for was a baby. So I know that babies can't really get that far. I also think he wasn't hurrying because he's hunting for a baby, he thinks he hasn't gone anywhere at all. So he's taking his time because he's a man and the baby's a baby. So he obviously thinks that he can outsmart this baby. What did you think? So your solo task today, is to sequence these events in the order they happen in the story. The man Jack heads for the graveyard. The man Jack cleans his knife. The man Jack goes in the attic. The man Jack enters the house. The man Jack kills most of the household. The man Jack discovers the baby is missing. With this question, it's told us what we might have predicted or what we might have thought, that this man Jack has killed members of the household. I want you to put these in order. We have seen this question quite a lot before in lessons that we've done in school and in tests that we've done recently. So put these events in order when you've paused the video and then unpause to see the answers. Let's look at the answers together. So the first thing is the man Jack enters the house. Then he kills most of the household. Then he cleans his knife. He goes into the attic. He discovers that the baby is missing. And then right at the end of the chapter, the man Jack heads for the graveyard. Give yourself a tick for the ones you got right. Brilliant. I'll see you tomorrow, Year 6. What I'd like you to do now is go and read the next part of our class novel, Room 13. See you tomorrow.